Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Malonemua. For those of you who don't know, I mean, my real name is McKenna Molt, but here on the channel, we're gonna refer to me as Malonemua. If you are new, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching my video. If you are not new, thanks for coming back. So today I wanted to do a fun challenge video that has been going around. A ton of people have done this, and so I thought it would be super fun to just sit down and film it as well. As you can see, I'm just mad chillin' in my hoodie. Says no one fights alone, good hoodie to rep. So I decided that for my video, I would copy a Jaclyn Hill tutorial. But the tutorial that I chose to use of hers is actually the My Go-To Fierce Makeup Look by Jaclyn Hill, and this was uploaded June 14th of 2016. So it is a throwback tutorial, but who doesn't want to be fierce like Jaclyn Hill? Girl, I know I do. Now, as some of you probably know, Thomas Halbert is the one that started this video trend. He started the entire thing, so I will have his video linked down below. Okay, and then for today's Bible verse, Okay, and then today's Bible verse comes from Philippians 2:3-4, and it says, "Don't be selfish, don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. Don't look out only for your own interests, but take an interest in others too." Woo, Jesus. Hitting me hard with that one. If you want to know how you can apply that Bible verse to your life, and if you want to hear me explain it a little bit more in depth, make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video when I will talk all about that good stuff. Also, don't forget to go follow me over on my Instagram. My name is @Malonemua, just like here on YouTube. And you should probably subscribe to my channel, because if you don't subscribe to my channel, what are you doing? Subscribe to my channel, be my friend. Subscribe to my channel until the end. Subscribe. Alrighty guys, and without further ado, I'm gonna stop babbling because I do it a lot. And let's go ahead and get into this tutorial following a Jaclyn Hill tutorial. Okay, cool. So just like Jaclyn Hill, I spend a lot of time on my intros, probably way too much time, but she does the same thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip into about like 2 minutes into the video when the tutorial actually starts. I'm going to pretend that I know nothing about makeup, that I'm not a makeup artist. I have no idea what I'm doing. I've never done makeup before in my life, and I am trying to recreate a Jaclyn Hill tutorial. This is literally a flashback to like 3 years ago when I would literally do this.
First things first, I'm going to be priming my eyes. And the way I like to do this, everyone has their own way of priming their eyes. You can just go in with a good old eye primer if you want, but I like to use my Urban Decay Naked Concealer. I put it all over the lid and then I blend it out with a brush. Today I am using the Morphe E8 brush.
Okay, so first thing that she did is she went ahead and went in and primed her lids. So I should probably do the same thing. I do not have the Urban Decay Naked Concealer because I used to have it. I tried it, I got it because of Jaclyn Hill, imagine that, but I didn't like it. I didn't think it was full coverage enough, so I stopped using it. So I'm gonna be going in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, of course, and I am just going to put this on the lids, just like she did. We'll just go ahead and remove that nasty pinkness that I have from the makeup that I did today. And she used a brush to blend this on her lid, which I would always use a beauty sponge, but she used a brush, so we're gonna use a brush. Although I don't have a brush that's like as big as hers, I don't really have one that size with me, so I'm just gonna be going in with the Luxie 205 tapered blending brush to blend this concealer onto my lid.
And then I absolutely have to set it with powder. I'm using the MAC Pro Emphasize powder, but a translucent powder would work, a face powder. Any sort of powder is gonna make the eyeshadows go on more smooth.
Okay, so now that that's all blended out, I'm just gonna go in and set it down with a powder real quick. So I do not have the MAC powder that she's using. I've never owned it in my life. So I am just going in with a normal translucent powder just to set my lids. Just like she said would work, it works.
So for the first shadow, I'm going to pick up one of my all-time favorites, which is Makeup Geek Creme Brulee. I'm going to start off by applying this in the upper crease area, also known as the transition color. And I'm going to be using a long-haired natural brush to apply this.
Okay, cool. So she just went in with a super natural color. So I don't have the Anastasia single shadows like she's using, but I figured what better video than to use the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I'm gonna be going in with the Jaclyn Hill palette, and pretty sure there's like the same exact shadows that she's well, the one that she just used, I have the same one here. So let's just hope that all the shadows that she's gonna use are gonna be in this palette, or else we're gonna have to get a little crazy with our palettes. But I am gonna be going with the Morphe M411 because it is a long natural hair brush, and I am gonna go in with a super light shade. I'm just gonna go in with this top shade right here from her palette because it is one of the lightest transition shades. And I'm just going to tap into that color, and then like she said, she's just buffing it into her crease.
And I'm going to continue to use that exact same brush. This is the Morphe M441. And I want to use this because I want everything to look so blended. I don't want anything to be packed on at this point. I don't want to use like a short, dense brush.
Okay, so I don't see a very orangey, she used Anastasia Burnt Orange, but I don't see a very orangey shade in her palette. So I'm just gonna go in with this second one right here. This is the most kind of like orangey transition shade that I see. So I'm gonna take that on that same Morphe M411 brush, just as she did. And she just took that right over the top of the other shade, right in that crease. So we are going to do the same thing.
So right now I'm sticking with a long hair natural bristle. I'm gonna now pick up Fawn, and this is again by Anastasia. This is a little bit darker and a little bit more neutral in shade, and with that exact same brush, I'm gonna concentrate this.
Tell me why her eyeshadow already looks better than mine.
You can see I'm kind of
all we've done is put two eyeshadows in the crease, and she already looks more blended, flawless, smooth, and perfect.
That's the beauty.
Okay, cool. So now I'm gonna go in with the third shade right here from her palette. And on that same exact brush, just as she said, and she took this right into the crease, but then she focused it on her outer corner. So I am just going on that outer corner, dabbing it in a little bit, and then buffing it back into that crease.
Now I'm gonna pick up Anastasia Fudge. I didn't realize this was such an Anastasia day. Hey! Fudge is one of my favorite dark browns ever. It's like the color of like warm chocolate. I love it. So now to apply this, I changed my brush, and now I'm using the M433 brush by Morphe, which looks very similar to the first one we used. It's just a little bit shorter and denser so it can pack on product. And now you see I'm using that because of the fact that I'm packing on this dark shade and I want it to be more concentrated.
Perfect. Okay, so now she went in with a more chocolate brown shade. So I'm just gonna take this shade right here in the bottom of the palette. This is like a chocolate brown right here, and I'm gonna be taking that shade on that same brush that she used, the Morphe M433, and I'm just gonna tap into that, and then she focused it right on that outer corner of the eye for the most part, and then slightly blended it in her crease.
And then before moving on, I'm just gonna make sure that we have no harsh lines on the upper crease and just go over it one more time with a little bit more of that burnt orange on my brush, because honey, let's get real. I fear harsh lines like I fear the devil. Now for my lid color, I'm going to be using Makeup Geek Foiled Eyeshadow in the shade Grandstand. This is my favorite foiled eyeshadow by Makeup Geek, so I'm going to pack that on the entire inner corner of the lid, but I'm not going to take it all the way across the whole lid. I don't want to cover up what we did with Fudge and the beautiful browns that we have on.
Okay, so like she said, I'm just going back in with that fluffy brush, the M433, and just making sure that everything is nice and blended, because we do not want any harsh lines up in here. So she is just packing that Makeup Geek Grandstand all over her lid. Now, I think I might have that shadow, but I'm not gonna go get it. I'm just gonna use what I have in this palette. So it looks like it's a lot like these two shades right here. So I think I'm just gonna mix these two together. I'm gonna take a little bit of each, and I don't know what the brush is that she's using, but I'm just gonna go in with a Sigma Cut Creased E62 brush to pack this onto my lid. And I don't think she got her brush wet with like Fix Plus or anything either. So I'm just gonna dip right into it, and then I'm gonna start packing this on my lid.
Now I'm going to go in and create my wing.
And honey, I'm going to create a wing so sharp and so harsh and so elongated, and if I need to use it as a weapon, I can also have that option as well.
I am using the Maybelline gel liner in Blackest Black. This is my favorite gel liner. I have used so many of them, and I swear to God, Maybelline still makes the best gel liner in my opinion.
Okay, so she's just doing a quick wing liner. Now, I don't ever use a angled brush like she's using for this. I use the mini, super tiny Sigma brush. So this is the Sigma Winged Liner E06 brush, E06? I don't know. This is the brush that I always use for wing liner because it is so small. I feel like it can give the really precise line. So love this brush. Use code Malonemua for some money off your purchase at Sigma Beauty. Okay, so I'm just gonna go in and do a thick big ol' sharp wing liner just like Jaclyn's doing.
I've done my liner the same way for a very, very long time. I create a line from the corner of my eye up towards the tail of my brow, and then I just kind of like fill in the blank. Like I create the wing and then I fill it in. And after I put on some lashes, I am going to go back and make my wing even a little bit more intense because I realized I could do better.
Girl, that wing, shoot. I just busted out the most bomb wing in like 2.5 seconds.
So with a quick coat of mascara, I'm going to go in with velour lashes, and these are in the style Lash in the City.
Okay, so I do not own the lashes that Jaclyn is putting on, but I'm just going to do a quick coat of mascara just like she did, and then I'm going to put on some lashes that Jaclyn loves and uses all the freaking time. Maybe back then she didn't use these, but this is her favorite pair, the Flutter lashes in Intoxicating. She uses these all the time. So I'm gonna go in with these lashes because the ones that she's using are like a super pretty cat eye lash. And these ones are very pretty as well. They go from that short to elongated on the outer corners, so they have that same cat eye effect to them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop these lashes on just like she's popping hers on.
They're like those really pretty fluffy lashes that kind of have a wing on the outer corner, so they give you more of like a cat eye effect, and I think that they are so beautiful with winged liner. Like if you just put on wing liner with no shadow whatsoever in these lashes, you're gonna immediately have a cat eye because they're just such beautiful cat eye lashes, which is why I love them for like a fierce nighttime or girls night out look. They're just so gorgeous. One of my favorites. I'm gonna prime my face using the Makeup Forever Radiant Primer. I forgot how much I love this.
Okay, so I don't have that primer that she's using, but I do have the Too Faced Hangover RX primer, which is the primer that I love, the primer that I use all the time. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that on my fingers, and I'm gonna massage that right into my skin.
I'm going to be using the Josie Maran Vibrancy Foundation, but I am going to have to mix it because I am so fair right now. So I'm using some Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation.
Okay, so I also don't have the foundations that she went in with. So I'm just going to go in with the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Foundation. And Jaclyn is using a Morphe M439 to buff that foundation all over her face.
This is my favorite foundation brush for a very, very long time. And then I'm going to do my under eye concealer. And I only had two shades. I had one that was too light and I had one that was too dark. So I'm mixing two different shades, as you can see. And this is the Urban Decay Naked Weightless Concealer, my favorite concealer ever, I believe. And I am using a damp beauty blender, by the way, to just blend all of this out. And the reason I put the light concealer in the center of the forehead and the center of the face is just to even everything out so that it looks more natural, if you will, you know, because this is just super natural, you guys.
Okay, so I went in with the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and put it in all the same places that Jaclyn did. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and start to blend this out. Honey, she went in with the concealer.
I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder, which is a translucent powder, and a damp beauty blender under my eye to set the under eye area. This has been my favorite way to set my under eye recently. It just looks so seamless and it's very, very matte.
Okay, so she went in with the RCMA No Color Powder to set her under eye with the translucent powder. I used to have the RCMA powder, but I no longer own it. So I'm gonna be going in with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. This is basically the same thing. I mean, it's just a translucent powder, and she went in with a beauty sponge to tap it into her under eye. Now this never, ever, ever, ever works out for me. I, for some reason, have the driest under eyes, and so whenever I do this, my under eyes crepe up like crazy and they just crack and look disgusting, but we're gonna do it for the video. So I'm just I'm just dipping that damp beauty sponge into that powder, and then just like Jaclyn did, I'm going in and pressing it in. Woo!
So what I'm going to do is pick up a little bit of the MAC Pro Emphasize powder, which is kind of like a highlight powder, but it's not shimmery. It's like a satin. It's not a full matte, but it's not a shimmer. It looks really, really beautiful. And I'm going to use that on the under eye area, and I'm applying that with a M438 brush. Many different brands have brushes very similar to this, but this one is by Morphe.
Okay, and then she went in with a highlighting powder and put it all over her face. I don't have the one that she used, so I'm just going to use that same translucent powder, and I'm going to go in with a Morphe E48. And she is just tapping this all over her face to set the rest of her face.
I'm going to fill in my brows using the Anastasia Brow Definer, which has been the only way that I've done my brows ever since the Brow Definer came out.
Okay, so next up, Jaclyn is going in and doing her brows with the Anastasia, I think it's the not the Brow Wiz, but the brow definer. And I have tried that one time. I tried it one time when it first came out, when Jaclyn Hill was raving about it, and so I went out and purchased it, and I really didn't like it. So I'm gonna be going in with the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo in Taupe, which is what I use on my brows constantly. Looks like this, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and do my brows with that.
I brush my brows down, I fill it on top, I brush them in, I fill them in on bottom, boom, shakalaka, good to go. I'm gonna be using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. God, this stuff smells so good. But I'm going to apply that bronzer all over the outer portion of my face, all around my cheekbones, my jawline, all up my temples, my hairline, my forehead. And then I'm going to do just a little bit of cleaning up. And I'm going to take that same RCMA No Color Translucent Powder.
Slow down, Jaclyn. The rest of us can't bronze our faces that fast.
And I'm going to just create a sharp line from the corner of my ear down to the corner of my lip so that we can just bake that a little bit so my contour won't get messy throughout the day and it'll look a little bit more cleaned up. And then I'm going to take a little bit more of burnt orange. I'm using the same shadows that I use on my upper lid and now on my lower lid. Take any pencil brush. This is an E3, I believe, from the Morphe Elite collection. And I'm going to just blend that on the entire lower lash line. I'm taking it all the way to the inner corner, all the way to the outer corner. And then I'm going to pick up Fudge by Anastasia again. And I am using like a small precision brush to apply fudge to my lower lash line. This one is by Sigma.
Okay, so I'm just going in with that Sigma brush that she used. And I am doing exactly what she did, taking it from, oh, it's so hard to film going underneath your lash line because I just want to be down here like this. But I need to like look up. I don't know, first world problems.
Now this is the part of the tutorial that really makes the eye makeup look. This is the most important part if you ask me. I'm going to be taking the exact same Maybelline gel liner that I used to create my wing, and I'm going to put it on my entire waterline, including my tear duct on the inner corner. This is what's going to give you that like really fierce almond eye effect. It's going to kind of create a cat eye without being too catty, you know what I'm saying? Because we're not going to actually draw on the skin, but we're getting it all the way to the inner tear duct, and it's just really going to bring attention to the eyes. It'll make your eye color stand out. It'll make your eyes look a little bit more slanted. It's just a really beautiful technique, and I've been doing it so much recently. And then I'm going to pick up the Champagne Collection face palette, yay! And I'm going to be using Amaretto as my blush. So I'm just going to pack Amaretto on my entire cheek area back towards the temples, and then I'm going to highlight. I am using Champagne Pop right on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm applying this with a Morphe 510 brush. And then once I get back to the high points of the cheekbones, I'm going to put on some Prosecco Pop, as you see me doing right now. This is the way I've been highlighting for a very long time because I just love the ombre effect of the gold on my cheekbones and the more champagne color on the center of my cheeks. I know a lot of people don't like applying highlight to the center of their cheeks, the apples of their cheeks, but I personally love it. So I encourage you to do you. I'm doing me, boo.
Okay, so she went Champagne Pop to Prosecco Pop, and then she's going in with a Jeffree Star highlight, which I don't have the one she's using, so I'm gonna go in with the Jeffree X Mani Eclipse, and she put this right on the apples of her cheeks. So we have here, we have Jeffree X Mani Eclipse, and then we have Champagne Pop, and then we have Prosecco Pop. And the fact that she did not highlight her nose, her forehead, her chin, I'm dying a little on the inside right now. The fact that I just have this patch of highlight here and nothing in the center. I know that Jaclyn used to never highlight her nose because she didn't like the shape of her nose, but I'm dying because I always highlight my nose.
I'm going to go in with Anastasia Liquid Lip in the shade Naked. I was trying to think, I was like, what color is this?
Okay, and then for lips, I don't have the same thing that she had, so I'm gonna be going in with whatever is closest. This is the Maybelline Purely Nude lipstick, and I'm gonna coat my lips in this.
I'm going to apply that all over my lips, and then once that's dry, I'm going to apply Marc Jacobs Moon Glow over top of it, which is a very, very pale gloss, but I love the nude lip that it gives me.
Okay, cool. So that is the finished look. I went in with the gloss Kimberly from Buxom Cosmetics, this is my favorite nude lip combo, the Maybelline Purely Nude lipstick with, this is mascara, with the Buxom Kimberly gloss. These two are my favorites for a really pretty bright nude lip. Okay, so here we are. The tutorial is all the way done, and can I just say, Jaclyn, I look fierce right now. Girl, I am living for this look. I love the way that this turned out. I'm like, should I just sleep in this and then wake up tomorrow for work? Like, here I am, Monday morning, ready to slay. Okay guys, so even though we didn't have all the products that Jaclyn used, I kind of used what I had, worked with what I got. I do really love the way that this look turned out. I think that it looks very, very, very beautiful. It looks bomb. I think that Jaclyn looks incredible in whatever look she does, but I do like the way that this turned out. I hope that you guys like it as well. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that you had fun watching this video. I did have a lot of fun filming it. I, no joke, might sleep in this look and wear it to work tomorrow, so don't judge me. Okay, and then I told you guys that if you stick through to the end of the video that I was going to share with you the scripture from the beginning of the video and tell you how you could apply it to your own life, how I apply it to mine. So just a reminder, the scripture was Philippians 2:3-4, and it said, don't be selfish, don't try to impress others. So let's stop right there. And obviously that's pretty self-explanatory. Don't be selfish, don't be jealous of other people, and don't do everything to try and impress others. Like if you live your life trying to impress other people, you're always going to fail and you're never gonna feel good enough. So that's the first thing. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself. This is huge. I feel like it is so like small to find people that are super humble nowadays. I feel like a lot of people really think of themselves as like they're really great, they're really awesome. And so something to remember is to always be humble, always think of someone else as better than you. You are not better than anyone else. This is something that I struggle with from my past. I went through this phase of always thinking that I was better than anyone else and that nobody else had anything on me because I was so bomb. And it is a very dangerous place to be. So always keep yourself humble, always be kind, and always put others before yourself. Lastly, it says, don't look out only for your own interests, but take an interest in others too. So basically what this is saying is don't look out only for what you like, the things that you like. If one of like your friends or if what if someone else likes something else, you don't have to knock it and not like that and be upset at them or mean to them or whatever for the fact that they like something. Like for example, if someone likes to play the violin, don't be a jerk to them because they like to play the violin. Like you like to play the guitar. How about you play your guitar, you let them play their violin, and you don't judge? How about you be nice? Moral of the story, think of others as better than yourselves, put others before yourselves, be kind to people, love people, be generous, be humble, stay true, and follow Jesus. Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for staying through till the very end. If you are still here, you are a real one. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Girl, my girl Jaclyn knows how to get down.